Hi guys, it's Jen here doing my 7th process video. This layout is a challenge that is up on the Hip Kit Club for this week. Today is actually the last day to do it, so I actually did this really quickly. It was a scrap lift off of one of the DT members, and here's the stuff we had to include. 4 pattern papers, circles, wood grain element, chipboard, and stamping. So I, without actually having had paid attention to the fact that she said we had to include that stuff, actually did manage to include it all. So I started out, when looking at the layout that we were scrap lifting, I had really liked how she had sort of layered and staggered the 6x6 paper pad. So I actually made 3 of these myself just out of a 12x12, just because I didn't have the colors that I wanted. But there was a 6x6 pad that came in the embellishment kit this month. So this is a picture of my son. He is about 2 or 3 in this photo, and I am actually using this photo because from when I found it, because I'm doing some purging in my scrap room, and the other one is that I have been doing so many pictures of my first son because I had a huge stack of 2005 photos that son number 2 is getting quite jealous, so I figured I should do a photo of him. So in the photo he's wearing a red hat and a red shirt, and so I decided to go with all blues and greens in the background as quite a contrast to the picture, so there's no red anywhere else, just on him. So I like how even though it's a fairly busy page, because that photo really stands out, it draws your eye to it quite a bit. Okay, really, we are going to get through one of these voiceovers just once without my iMovie crashing. So, yeah, I don't know where I was. Anyways, I am now gluing this all together. Now, I was thinking, was thinking of using the dotted roller on the back, so that's why I'm putting this together really weirdly. And I just cut the top of that piece of the 6x6 paper pad off because it had a bit of a pink sort of watercolor look on it, and I didn't want that on there because there's no pink anywhere else. I wanted to keep it all blues and greens. So I had everything laid out, and then as per what usually happens with me, it ended up getting moved around. So that little hello had been on the other side of the page, and then I just liked where it sat, and then so I just stuck it down. If I like where things are, I usually tend to be pretty quick about doing layouts, and this layout, it went really quick, which was awesome. So if you're wondering why this looks so weird, I got a new clamp, as I said in my last video, and I figured out a way to set it up. And then I realized when I went to edit this, I actually had the iPhone in backwards. So I had to flip the whole video upside down, if that makes sense. And so it looks kind of funky. So if you watch me do this upside down, it looks much better, but I didn't really think anybody wanted to do that. And I am not as talented as Shamel is in where she used to scrapbook them, and she would actually do it upside down because it worked better for her camera and the way she had it set up. I'm not that talented, so I turned around. Apologize, it looks kind of funky. I will try to put my camera in properly next time. So here I'm just sticking everything in there. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about that. I start having just a little bit of a challenge with this afterwards, but right now I believe I'm going to do this. So I have never used these rollers before. I'm really excited that I actually pulled them out and used them. There I was just testing it to see if I liked the color. So I'm using Stampin' Up! Ink, and I'm pretty sure I used Not Quite Navy in the background, and this worked well because I was supposed to do stamping and I was supposed to have circles. And had totally not noticed any of that in the recipe for this layout. So it worked out well. Got my stamping in, got my circles in, and used something that I had bought a while ago and never had before. So I'm not 100% on it. I would have liked it to be a little bit more random. It's kind of square-ish, I guess, if that makes sense. But as I get used to using them, I'm sure I'll get the look I'm looking for a little bit more. And I think right there I cut the paper down just a little bit. I decided to, yeah, there you go. You can see I had cut it down out of frame. I just got a nice dark piece of navy cardstock to mount it on. I just thought it's a busy page, and sometimes I find if you do that, it just helps pull it together, and I quite like how that turned out. So now I'm pulling out whatever bits I have left from the kit, thinking what else do I want to add. And I had liked how she had added gold on hers, so I did pull out these gold rub-ons, and I'm just thinking about where I want to put them. Sorry, iMovie crashed again. Where was I? Oh yeah, gold rub-ons. You have to laugh or you're going to scream and throw the computer, and then my husband would be really mad at me, so I won't do that. But I do think I need to maybe try to find a different way to do voiceovers at some point here. So anyways, as I was saying, gold rub-ons in my kit, I really liked how they looked on the layout that we were scrap lifting, so I did pull some out. I don't actually use all the ones that are on there right now. I just use the arrows. And I've also pulled out my enamel dots, which is always a good indication that I think I'm getting pretty close to being finished. So I used the ones that came in the kit, and then I actually had wanted white and navy, so I did pull some out of my stash as well. They're just off to the side there. So now I'm just going to do my journaling, and I actually did turn the camera off there to put my rub-ons on. You can see I did move that one arrow down. It just seemed like it was getting lost on the pattern paper. But I just turned the camera off because I was afraid rubbing the rub-ons would move the clamp that my iPhone is in a little bit too much. So I'm going to do my journaling, and then here comes my only dilemma with this layout, because it actually went super fast, and that was awesome. I love layouts like that. My issue is as I was doing the journaling, I sort of remembered something, and then all of a sudden it made me think I wanted to put a title on here, which I hadn't planned to do. So right now, I realized that I hadn't used any puffy stickers. Oh, horror, the horror. So I pulled them out. So there is one on there, and then I was trying to make this one work, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, that's super nice. Why did I not leave that like that? And then I threw it all off. And then I thought, okay, I do want to put a title on here, but I hadn't planned for a title. So here's where I run into an issue. Absolutely love these glittery Heidi Swapp stickers, and I want to use these for my title, and they stick out, is that right? You can notice them quite well on this very busy layout. There's lots of patterns, there's lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff in the clusters, so I liked how much they stood out. But my issue now is I didn't leave a spot for a title, and normally I do my title first and then my journaling so that I don't run into this issue. So that looks okay. What my problem is that that ran off the paper and the dimple didn't. So if that makes any sense. I don't mind if they both run off or they're both overlapping or something, but one is sort of on the cluster or on the layers, and then the other one is running off of it. It bugs me. So like all the rest of this recording is me fighting with this title, and I was going to just edit this out, and I thought, well, you know what? Sometimes, it's good to see other people's creative process. So here I pull out the tile thickers that came with the kit. No, those didn't work. I found those were too chunky because there's already lots of square shapes, and I just thought those were too chunky, and they were quite big. So then I pulled these ones out of my stash. These are Evalicious puffy thickers in navy, but they're kind of a much more different color of navy. I cannot talk today. And so those are abandoned. So there you go, finger tapping, trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do. So here I pull out more stuff from my stash, some little blue tiles to put in the word that on the top. Those ones right there. They're quite similar in color to the dimple. And so I try them, and yeah, these aren't going to fly either. So then the great debate is going to be, because my video runs out in a second here, what does she do? What happens with the title? Well, I thought about this all afternoon, and there's some close-ups coming up. That is what I did. I actually put that little cluster back at the top corner, and I moved my title up to the top. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.